It's time for solution of sub question number 6. Okay, 6. Now a is equal to 2, d is equal to 8, sn is equal to 90. We have to find out n value and an value. Let us go with the sn formula. Sn is equal to n upon 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay. Let us substitute the values. Sn value is given as 90, which is equal to n by 2. N is unknown, so n upon 2 into 2a. A is 2, 2 into 2 plus n still unknown, n minus 1 into d. D is 8. Next is 2 comes to the other side, becomes product. 90 into 2, which is 180, is equal to n into 4 plus n minus 1 by distributive law. 8 gets multiplied to both n and minus 1, so 8n minus 8. So further, 180 is equal to n into 4 minus 8. So 8n remains as it is. 4 minus 8 is minus 4. Further multiplication, 180 is equal to 8n square minus 4n. 180 goes to the other side, becomes 0 is equal to 8n square minus 4n minus 180, which is a quadratic equation. Solving quadratic equation, you can directly solve this equation also by factorization, or if you know the formula, you can use the formula. But there is another idea, is try to simplify it as much as possible. Suppose there is a common factor in all these, try to take them out. For example, here I can see 4 is common. There is a product of 4. 4 ones of obviously is product of 4. 180 can also be a multiple of 4. So 4 exists in all of them. We can take 4 common outside. Then if we factorize in that way, this becomes 2n square minus n minus 4 goes outside, 4 4s are 16, 4 5s are 20. So now the equation looks simpler. See, this 4 goes to the other side, becomes, by transposition, it is 0 by 4. 0 divided by anything is 0. So we can write this as 0 by 4, which is equal to 2n square minus n minus 45. Right? But 0 by 4, what is that? 0 by 4 is nothing but 0. So now we can solve this equation. See, doesn't it look smaller or easier? Of course. So let us try to factorize this. So those who have doubts in factorization, please put a comment here. I'll factorize this in a separate video and I'll add it there. Okay. Now, for further factorization, what we do is the product needs to be 90, minus 90, and the sum needs to be minus n. So we split that minus n as factors as 10 and 9. So now it is 2n square minus 10n plus 9n minus 45 is equal to 0. See, if you do not know how to factorize this, break this number into its factors, additive factors, please do comment. Okay. Now, in the first two factors, we have 2n common. So that gives us n minus 5. And similarly, in the next one, 9 is a common factor. We get n minus 5. Here again, n minus 5 is a common factor. We can take it out. It becomes n minus 5 into, in the first part, when n minus 5 is removed, what is remaining? 2n. The second part, when n minus 5 is removed, what's left? Plus 9. So that is equal to 0. See, product of two numbers is 0, means one of them must be 0, either the first one or the second one. Let us consider the first one as 0. If the first one is 0, then n minus 5, we can say this implies n minus 5 is 0. If n minus 5 is 0, then n should be 5. This is one solution. There is another possibility. Let us look at another possibility, that is 2n plus 9 may also be 0. In that case, 2n becomes, plus 9 goes to the other side, becomes minus 9, and n is equal to minus 9 upon 2. But we will not consider this as a solution because the n value should always be a natural number, and this is not a natural number. So this is not the answer. n value is 5. So we got the first part, that is n. Now they have asked us to find an. An value, n should be replaced with 5. So let us go for that. The last part, this is very simple. Let's go with that. An value. An formula, we all know it as a plus n minus 1 into d. First, I will try to keep n value as n itself, because they have asked an. It will be a general term which will contain n there. So an is equal to a, which is 2, plus n, we will not substitute yet, d value being 8. So an is equal to 2 plus 8 into n, 8n minus 8. An is equal to 8n remains as it is, 2 minus 8. 2 minus 8 being minus 6. Okay? Then an is equal to 8n minus, 8. This is the general term which they have asked. An. This is your an term. But since now n value is already known, 5, you can substitute and get a particular solution also. This will be a general solution for all the terms of this arithmetic progression. But in case if you need, what happens when the n value is 5? If you substitute that, though n5 is equal to, n I am replacing with 5, is equal to 8 into 5 minus 6. So a5 is equal to 40 minus 6. a5 is equal to 34. That's the particular solution for n is equal to 5. So now we will continue with sub question number 7. The question goes like this: a is given, an is given, Sn is also given. We have to find n and d. This time we can use the shorter form of Sn because first term and last term both are given. Okay, let us try. Sn is equal to n upon 2 into a plus an. So Sn value given as 210. Let us substitute directly. 210 is equal to n upon 2. We don't know n value. We need to find out. So a value is 8 plus an is 62. Next step. 2 comes to the other side, gets multiplied by 210 into 2 is equal to n into 62 plus 8 is 70. We can multiply this end, right? Or we can bring 70 here to simplify that. So next step, 210 multiplied by 2 divided by 70 is equal to n. 0, 0 you can cancel. Dividing common by 10. 10 7s are, 10 21s are. Common factor 10. 7, 7 1s are, 7 3s are. So last left out is 3 2s are 6. So n value is 6. We got n. Next is to find out d. Okay. Let us just have a look before starting the problem. Should I use an or Sn? Suppose I use an. An is equal to, an is 62, I know 62. An is equal to a plus, a I know 8. So 8 plus n minus 1. N value I have got already 6. So 6 minus 1 into d. D will be the only one unknown quantity. So we can use an. Obviously we can use Sn also, but always an formula is smaller and easier. So I will go for an. Nth term is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. See, always there will be alternatives. So there is nothing wrong if you go by another method. Suppose, sir, can we use Sn and solve? If you are able to solve using Sn, there is nothing wrong, you can do that. Now, an is 62. So 62 is equal to a, which is 8, okay, plus n minus 1. N, we just found out n, 6. So substitute that, 6 minus 1 into d. 8 comes to the other side, becomes minus 8. So 62 minus 8, which is equal to 6 is 5d. Right? So 62 minus 8. 62 minus 8 is 15. 4 is equal to 5d. 5 comes to the other side, becomes 54 by 5 is equal to d. See, difference can be a fraction. It can be negative. It can be a decimal also. It may be 0 also. Only n value has to be always natural number. So d is equal to 54 by 5. is the solution. Okay. Sub question 8. An is equal to 4, D is equal to 2, Sn is equal to minus 14. Find n and a. So again, we'll just see if Sn can be used here. Sn formula, if I use Sn, I'll be knowing is equal to n by 2, n don't know, into a plus a don't know, 2 unknowns, n and a, 2 unknowns. So that formula is not being helpful. Let us say an is here, so we can use. Shall I use the longer form? Yes, longer form also, n and a both will not be known. No use. Okay. An formula, an is equal to 4 is equal to a don't know plus n minus 1, where n again don't know. So in this case, what to do? None of the three formulae are being useful. What to do then? Then we will substitute in Sn formula and An formula both. We will be getting two equations with two unknowns. See, if the number of unknowns are 3, then we will require 3 linear equations. If the number of unknowns are 4, then we will need 4 equations, like that. So here 2 unknowns are there in each formula. So we will need 2 different equations. We try to construct 2 equations using the given data. I will be using An formula first. So I will be getting a plus n minus 1 into d. An is 4, my a value unknown plus n unknown minus 1 into d, which is 2. So 4 is equal to a plus 2 by distributive property becomes 2n minus 2. See, 2 into n is 2n, plus into minus minus, 2 ones are 2. This minus 2 comes to the other side, becomes plus 2. So 4 plus 2 is equal to a plus 2n. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 equal to a plus 2n. We got one linear equation. We will store it as equation 1. Now we will go to use Sn formula to get one more equation. So the second equation becomes Sn is equal to n upon 2 into, first we will try the shorter version, that is a plus an. Sn value is minus 14, which is equal to n upon 2, we don't know the value, into a is a itself, an is 4. Now let's simplify. It is minus 14 into 2 is equal to n into a plus 4 minus 28 is equal to n into a plus 4, or you can write it as n into a plus 4n. See, now what has happened is, we can see that here n and a both products are there, both are unknowns. So one of them has to be substituted. Either we have to replace n or we have to replace a in this equation. So what we do is we store this as equation 2. We store this as equation 2. And let us consider equation 1. From this, we have to get, either we have to replace a or we have to replace n. What we do is we will try to find out what is a. I am going to try to find out what is a here. Now let us continue with this equation. I will consider equation 1. After this, let us consider equation 1. What is a equal to? 2n comes to this side, becomes 6 minus 2n is equal to a. This will be my equation 3. I will call this equation 3. Now from equation 3, I can replace a with 6 minus 2n. Here it is a. I will replace this. So put equation 3 in equation 2. What happens? Minus 28 is equal to n into a, but you know that a can be replaced with what? A can be replaced with 6 minus 2n. So 6 minus 2n plus 4n as it is. 4n remains as it is. Simplify further. Minus 28 is equal to 6 into n, 6n, minus 2n, 2n into n is minus 2n square plus 4n. These two can be simplified further. 6n plus 4n becomes 10n. So next step is minus 28 is equal to 10n minus 2n square. I bring all the n's term this side, it becomes 2n square, minus 2n square becomes plus 2n square, minus 10n. Here minus 28 is remaining, is equal to 0 on the other side. This is the quadratic equation which we have to simplify. Just to make it little more simpler, I'll take out the common factor. What is the common factor? 2 is the common factor. So 2 goes out, becomes n square minus 5n minus 14 is equal to 0. This 2 goes to the other side, becomes 0 divided by 2. 0 divided by anything is 0. So 2 goes to the other side, becomes 0 by 2, which is 0. Equation is n square minus 5n minus 14. I'll solve here better. I'll rub this. Okay. So now you got n square minus 5n minus 14 is equal to 0. See, the product has to be minus 14 and sum has to be minus 5. So which two numbers are like that? See, if you have a doubt regarding the factorization, please comment in the comment section so that a separate video will be made of how it is factorized. If you know it, well and good. Now, n square minus 7n plus 2n. Why? Because sum of these two is back to minus 5n. I have split this 5n into two factors separately, so that when you multiply, you get minus 14. Right? Now, in the first two, what is common? In the first two, n is common. What is remaining? N minus 7. The next two, what is common? Plus 2 is common. What is left out? N minus 7 is equal to 0. Now what is common? N minus 7 is a common factor. Take it out. N minus 7. What is left out? Here first n and plus 2. So, product of these two is 0. What do you mean by product of two numbers is 0? Any one of them must be 0. Otherwise, product will not be. Either both are 0 or one of them should be 0. So, let us consider n minus 7 is 0. Okay? If n minus 7 is 0, then n must be plus 7. This is one option. Another option, if n plus 2 is equal to 0, then n should be equal to minus 2, which is not an answer. Why? Because n should be a natural number. So, n is equal to 7 is the answer. Now, there is one more question other than n. Find a. So, let us choose one of the equations which we used, either from equation 1 or equation 2 or equation 3, whichever we like. We use one of the equations and we substitute n is equal to 7. So, if you remember the one of the equations, let me see. Here I find an equation here, that is 28 minus 28 is equal to na plus 4n. I can use either there, a I can replace, or the first equation. So, stop now. Yes. In equation 3, if you remember, I had written here earlier, we had written that a is equal to 6 minus 2n. This was the equation. Here, if I substitute the value of n that we just found out now, we got n value as 7. If we substitute that, it becomes a is equal to 6 minus 2 into 7. So, which is a is equal to 6 minus 14. Which is a is equal to 6 minus 14 is minus 8. That's the answer. Sub question number 9 from main question number 3 from exercise 1.3 goes like this. A is equal to 3, n is equal to 8 and S is 192, which is S8 obviously. S8 is 192. Find D. Since we know n value, A value and S8, but we don't know the last value. A8, 8th value we don't know. So what we will do is we will not go for the shorter version, we will go for the longer version. Fine. So longer version is sum of n terms is equal to n upon 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So Sn value is S8 because n is 8. N again replaced with 8 by 2 into 2 into a, which is 3, plus n minus 1 remains 8 minus 1 into d. So S8 is equal to 8 by 2 is 4, 2 3s are 6 plus 7 into d. Very simple, directly. S8 value is 192, I am substituting that. 192 is equal to 4 into 6 plus 7d. 4 comes to the other side, becomes 192 divided by 4 is equal to 6 plus 7d. I'll continue on the other side. So 192 by 4. When you simplify with 4, 4 ones are 4 fours are 16 and 3 remains. So 32, 4 eights are 32, 48. So 48 is equal to 6 plus 7d. 6 comes to the other side, becomes 48 minus 6 is equal to 7d. 48 minus 6 is 42, which is equal to 7d. Multiplied by 7 by transposition becomes 42 by 7, which is equal to d. 7 ones are 7, 6 are. So d value is 6. Simple answer. Question number 10. Let us have a look at this. L is equal to 28. What is L? L is nothing but the last term. So AN. So we know that AN is equal to 28. Fine. Then SN is equal to 144. Then it is written as there are total 9 terms. Not the 9th term, but there are 9 terms. Means N is equal to 9. Then find A. So which formula is that we can use where we can find out A? Only A should be the unknown, one unknown. AN formula, if you think AN is this one, 28 is equal to A, we don't know, plus N, which is 9, minus 1 into D. D not mentioned anywhere. So A and D, two unknowns will be there if you use AN formula. Okay, let's try for SN formula. SN formula, if you use the longer version, if you use, it will be again SN value, you know, 144, it will be 144 is equal to n by 2, n is 9, so 9 by 2 into 2a, a don't know, so it remains 2a, one unknown, plus n minus 1 remains 9 minus 1 into d, again unknown, so two unknowns again. What about the short version of the last formula? Sn is equal to, Sn 144 is equal to n by 2, which is 9 by 2 into a plus an. A we don't know. An, however, we know that L is nothing but the last term. So here A is the only unknown that will be there, the unknown variable. So whether we will go by that formula. So why I am explaining this is, see, many times students ask, sir, how will we know in the exams which formula to use? So you will have to mentally run all the formulas. Just if I use this first one, what may happen? Second one, you will not have enough time to write down everything. So mentally you should just run the whole formula on. Okay, let's start with the shorter version now. Sn is equal to n upon 2 into a plus an. Now Sn 144, n 9 by 2, a don't know, we have to find out, an is the last term, L that is 28. Simplify, 2 comes to the other side, becomes 144 into 2 is equal to 9 into a is 9a plus 9 when multiplied to 28, it is 9 8s are 72, 7 carry, 9 2s are 18 plus 7 is 25, so 252. Multiply 144 into 2, so 2 4s are 8, 2 4s are 8, 2 1s are 2. 288 is equal to 9a plus 252. If 252 comes to the other side, becomes minus 288 minus 252 is equal to 9a. Subtract this. 288 minus 8 minus 2 is 6. 8 minus 2 is 6. 8 minus 5 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. So 36 is equal to 9a. So 9 comes to the other side, becomes 36 by 9. So 36 by 9 is equal to a. Simplify this, 9 ones are 9 4s are. So answer is 4. A is equal to 4 is the final answer. Okay, dear friends, when we are going through these problems, if you see some errors found anywhere or if you have doubts regarding any step, kindly please mention in the comment section. We will make a separate video of that and we will link to this problem wherever you have issues with.